What's going on, guys? So there seems to be a lot of interest in branded Chimera lately. I've been playing the deck on and off since like October of 2023, I guess. Anyways, I have managed to top a regional with it recently. So in prime peak Snake Eyes format. So the deck's very capable. It's a very good deck. And I just want to show y'all some of the must-know combos. I'm going to give y'all 3 combos in this video that I think you should know. The first one is going to be your number 1, just regular Chimera combo. And this is going to be the one that's like not that greedy. It's not going to assume that you have any other cards in your hand, but typically you do have other cards in your hand that you can use. So we're going to start off. We're going to normal summon Mirror Swords Knight. Mirror Swords Knight effect will go ahead and bring out our copy of... Sorry, I didn't have everything all fancy and together. Of Baphomet. Baphomet effect will add ourselves a Chimera Fusion and a copy of Gazelle. So Gazelle. So at this point right here, we have 2 cards that we didn't have. We still have 4 other cards in hand. Keep that in mind throughout this whole combo. So we're going to go Chimera Fusion. We're going to fuse these guys right here into our copy of Phantom Beast. We're going to have some triggers here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. So we're going to special summon back out the Mirror Swords Knight. We're going to add ourselves a copy of... You can go Nightmare Apprentice here, is what I would do if you have a card that you can discard. So we're going to assume we have a card we can discard. Add this, and then we're going to rip a card out of our opponent's hand in the end phase. All right, let's see. All right, I'm trying to go too fast. So we're going to discard a random card, special summon this. This effect will go off, and we will add ourselves a copy of Diabelle's. All right, so we're going to activate Chimera Fusion to add it back. Now here's where your hand really matters. So if you hard drew a Chimera Fusion, that's great. You can overextend and go for the Diabelle's lock. And I think in this format, the Diabelle's lock is extremely strong. So, because board breakers are big right now. And a lot of decks are either going to play Droplet or Dark Ruler. When Diabelle's, when they set a card, you can pop it with Diabelle's. Pop one card you control, one card they control. So it doesn't have to be the card they set either. That's something people don't know. But at this point, you have 2 options. So you can set this, and on your opponent's turn, you can go in for a Guardian Chimera play because you're going to quick effect to special your other copy of Baphomet. Baphomet is going to do the same thing. He's going to add you Chimera Fusion, and he's going to add you a copy of Gazelle. Now you have some options here. So you can go in for a Guardian Chimera pop, plus you're going to have your Monster Negate live with this. You ripped a card out of their hand, and then you can go in for your Guardian Chimera play at any point, and then you can go in with after you've exhausted the negates, you can go with these 2. With these 3, and then you can go effect of this, bring the Diabelle's back. Now they can't really do anything as far as spells, but what I like to do is on your turn, if you have a poly or if you have an extra copy of Chimera Fusion, we would have hard made. Let's go back a little bit, go back to where we were. We'll put this up. So here's where we were. This is kind of just a bonus combo, to be honest with you. We would use our Chimera Fusion, or if we had a polymerization, we would go ahead and fuse these 2. There's a lot of hands where you can set up the Guardian Chimera and the Diabelle's lock. So we're going to go into our copy of the Phantom Baphomet, the Magical King, or the Mythical King, whatever he is. And he is going to go his effect to Foolish. And we're going to Foolish none other than Tal the Enchanter. Tal the Enchanter effect will special summon back out our copy of Diabelle's. So then, typically, I'm only going to go for that if I had a polymerization or another Chimera Fusion. So we would have ended with the Chimera Fusion set, and then all that other stuff. Plus we have the lock. so we don't have to worry about droplets. We literally don't have to worry about droplets at all. Imperm, top deck Imperm does nothing. Evenly matched, they can't do it. It just turns all that off, and then we have so much follow up. And plus, like I said, we'd still have 3 cards in hand. If you went straight for the Diabelles, and you didn't have something you could discard, then you would still have 4 cards in hand. So whatever you want to play there. All right, let's move into the second combo. All right, for our second combo, it's our 1-card Branded Fusion combo. So if you already have your Chimera stuff, great. If not, I'm going to show you what you do. So we would activate Branded Fusion, and we would go ahead and send our buddy Albaz. Where you at? Where you at, Albaz? We'd send Albaz, and we would send Gazelle. Okay? And we would make Renbrum. Renbrum is freaking awesome. So at this point, we would trigger our Gazelle to add us any card that we want that mentions Chimera Fusion. If you want to get Codal, you can, but if you're worried about Droll, but Droll just kills this deck, so typically I go for Codal anyway, and if they were going to Ash something, you are at least clear of Ash. So, but anyway, Droll is going to kill you anyway, so I would always go for Codal, because then you can activate Codal. Now you have the targeting protection in the grave when you control one of the names. Then we're going to grab Mirror Swords Knight. And then I could go through the whole combo, but you're going to end on basically the exact same thing that you did last time, except now you got a Renbrum on field, and you were able to get to it with this. Plus, you have 4 cards in hand, whatever they may be. Board breakers, hand traps, whatever you're playing. Personally, I like board breakers in this deck. But now let's go into our third combo. All right, guys. So this third combo, it is a 3-card combo, and you're probably thinking that's crazy. But in all actuality, it's really not that crazy in this deck, because you have so many ways to poly. You have so many ways to Mirror Swords Knight. The only anomaly that's a 3 of is the Branded Fusion. So in this situation, I'm going to start off with Branded Fusion. And we're going to do the same thing we just did. We're going to send our buddy Fallen of Albaz. But this time, we're going to send the Hex Sealed Fusion. So this is very critical that you send the Hex Sealed Fusion, because you want to go into Albion. Albion effect will go off to fuse. Now, I'm sure you already know, guess what's coming out? Our buddy Dragoon. And we play 2 Albaz, so we don't care about that. I don't even play, I do still play Lubellion, but you can technically cut that, because we have 2. It's just up to you. If you want to cut down an Albaz and still play Lubellion, that's fine, because usually this is going to go through just the same. Except the issue is you would have to go this, then that, and then make Dragoon. So there's just a lot of moving pieces. Either way, it still plays under Nib. So now we're going to go Mirror Swords Knight. Mirror Swords Knight effect is going to go off. It's going to summon out Baphomet. Baphomet effect is going to go off and grab us these 2. So here's what our hand looks like at the moment. So we're going to fire off that polymerization, and you don't have to yet, just in case, to see how your opponent's going to interact, but you have a Dragoon Omni Negate, so it really doesn't matter. So now we're going to go into, well, where is it? There it is. We're going to go into our Hand Rip. Sorry, I keep hitting the camera. So our Hand Rip, we're going to go chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. Again, we're going to bring back out our copy of Mirror Swords Knight. We're going to add ourselves, this time we'll just go straight for the, typically you always want to go Princess if you have a discard, but just for the sake of the video, we'll just go straight for the Diabelles. Now, at this point, and you're adding that off of the Gazelle, now we're going to rip a card. We have a Dragoon Omni Negate, and now we're going to activate Chimera Fusion for the first time, fusing these 2 into our buddy Baphomet. Now we're going to trigger Baphomet's effect. We're going to dump Master Tau the Enchanter. Master Tau is going to bring out our Diabelles in our far right zone. So you can play around Anima and stuff like that, but You're really not worried about that in this deck, to be honest with you. Now we're going to add back our Chimera Fusion. We still have two cards in hand, possibly more, depending on what you discarded, because that hand that I'm showing you, it doesn't really matter how you get to it. It's just if you get to it. So we're going to have at least bare minimum 2 cards in hand. We would set this on our opponent's turn in the draw phase. We're going to quick effect Mirror Swords. We don't have to worry about droplet because, you know, you get the point. We're going to add this. No, I'm sorry. You're going to special summon this. He will trigger to add you another one of these and one of these. Now you have Guardian Chimera live if you didn't already, but typically you can manage your hand to where you'd have it anyway. So we're going to have this in hand. Let's just say we keep going, we keep going. We exhaust our Mirror Swords Knight negate. Now this body right here is pretty much dead to us. So we would say they've burnt through that and then they still find a way to put 2 bodies up. You can Guardian Chimera. These 2 don't really matter to us. So, and you don't even have to get rid of this one. If you don't think they can get over it, you can just go with these for Guardian Chimera. And Guardian Chimera is untargetable because of the the polymerization in the grave. So now we would go chain 1, they can't ash it. Chain 2, Gazelle. Chain 3, Baphomet. So now what you can do is go ahead and bring back out Master Tal the Enchanter. Now you can add yourself I like to add Codal. Just typically want to have him in the grave for targeting negation. And then you would draw 1 card. That's a good one. And then pop 2 cards they have. Now for the follow-up, I mean, you're just going to draw a random card, whatever it is. You still got the other 2 cards in hand. I'm sorry, this one. This one is in hand. This one would have been activated. And then you can just literally activate this to get it back. So you have, I mean, this is all random. And then you got 2 other cards, whatever they may have been. You may have had to use them. Doesn't matter. But we have 2 illusions on the field. Plus we have this. And then assume you still have Dragoon. You can activate Codal. He is going to get you Mirror Swords Knight. Mirror Swords Knight. You can go ahead if you want to. You can just go straight. If they leave 1 monster on the board, you can go ahead and fuse these 3. Into this guy. Now he can attack 3 times. And typically this is going to be more than enough to just flat out end your opponent's turn. Plus you'll have the target negation live and you'll have the monster negate live. Not to mention you still have the Diabelle's lock. So you don't have to worry about them having an imperm in hand if they end it on an empty field. Even if it's something else. And then even if they manage to get Princess, well, we're just going, yeah, Princess, our targeting negation prevents the Princess, it prevents SP. There's just so much going on right now. Plus our Dragoon's probably at 4,000 attack. And then if we have to negate something else, it's at 5,000 attack. So yeah. Anyways, guys, hope this helped. This is just a few basic combos. Like there's literally hands that, I mean, I can show you just some of the hands that you'll open with. They're just crazy. I mean, and strategically breaking boards with this deck, it's so fun. Like it's one of the funnest decks I've probably ever played, in all honesty. It's up there with, really, I mean, it's up there almost in a class of its own as far as entertainment. There's never like a boring game, I don't think, unless you're playing like Runic Stun or something. Which ironically, this deck has a decent matchup against Runic Stun. Has in-engine ways to pop stuff because of Chimera Fusion. Yeah, it's actually not too bad. Plus we can make Dragoon under it a lot of times. So yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and just look at a couple test hands. 5, So like this hand isn't great because we did get a multiple. Going second, this hand's like cracked. You would draw this for turn, so yeah, this is just a cracked hand. You got talents if you wanted to draw two. I mean, you're just cooking here. Super poly. Even going first, this hand does a lot. So anyways, let's just look at another hand. All right. This hand's like literally broken. You'd always start out with Branded Fusion. If they ash it, if they don't, so what, you know. I am playing the Anti-Spell Fragrance in the main alongside Tikaboo, just because that's kind of the gimmick of the deck now, Anti-Spell. I'd probably take it out because we do have a searchable Anti-Spell that only locks our opponent. This hand right here, cracked. I mean, so cracked. I mean, Tikaboo right alone will solo games. Going second, it's even more cracked. Look at a couple more. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I picked up way too many. All right. This is one of the worst hands we've had, but we still have Super Poly. If this gets stopped, I mean, we have something to do. Going second. Oh yeah, going second. This hand's super broken because we can break boards with Albaz if we had to, and then even if it gets stopped, we can Super Poly it away, especially if they end with like a Winged Beast on field. But that's like one of the worst hands, and we didn't shuffle that good, so that's another issue after the combos. This hand, full combo, cracked. Like you're ending with Dragoon, you're ending with that board that we just seen last, because we have the patchwork. That's why we max out on that engine. And let's do one more. Just see. I mean, we haven't drawn a hand that's just unplayable. We've drawn hands that you would like to see other stuff. But like this hand's full combo. You go Apprentice, dump this, grab ourselves a Patchwork, and Patchwork's gonna grab you this. I mean, and then now you can normal summon this and then do your whole thing. I mean, you can literally, you can do everything with this hand. It's crazy. You can make a Mirror Jade with this hand. It's crazy. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.